I'm a spirit keeper, and I give you a reason for every season. And today, I'm at another Spirit Halloween location for a 2025 store tour. Here is the Maze Landing, New Jersey store. Starting off with the front archway, we have the Madison Scare Park sign right there. No big arch as you can see, but still definitely an awesome IC. And right here we have the main mascot, Jack the Reaper, $330. He does actually have motion tracking, so as you can see, he follows you. As you can see right here, he's actually following. So he does have the motion tracker right there in his finger. Such an awesome animatronic, once again, $330. He is on the left side of the front archway. And then over here, we have the Crypt Countess, $300. Again, a super cool animatronic and very lifelike. There we go, the Crypt Countess. And now we can make our way through the front archway. Right here we have the Tombstone Rocker. So there it goes, right there. We also have the possum right there. And all the detailing on this. And you can see, it looks like real bricks. And you also have the graffiti right there, which looks super awesome. And now here we have Bullseye and the Nun. And then we also have Egg Harbor Herald, newspaper box, and then the IC sign right here for pieces that you can actually buy. It's right there. And now, let's start off with the Nun. We also have that little raccoon right there. $300, Valak the Nun. There we go, Valak the Nun. And then up here, you can actually see the digital screen up there. It says 31st Street Station, next stop. And then down here, we actually have Jack the Reaper on the front of the subway train with those little, almost sort of railings, I would say. Watch your step. And you actually have part of the subway track right there that was supposed to be actually broken off right there, leading onto the Spirit Madison Scare Park train. And then right here, we have Bullseye, $250. There we go, the Bullseye animatronic. Let's see him go one more time. His actual mouth movement is really nice. Not too, exaggerated. Pretty subtle, which I think is pretty good. As you can see right there, his almost candy cane nose, he has the red and white color scheme. I also really love his eye patch right there, but there's Bullseye. And now going over here, we have the Back Bend Bonnie. They don't have the full entire train, but they have a sort of half display with the train. And then right here, once again, Back Bend Bonnie for $180. The detailing on her face is so awesome. There we go, the Back Bend Bonnie. And then over here, before we enter the train, as you can see, watch your step right there. We have the gray jumping spider, $100. So obviously, classic, can't go wrong with the jumping spider. But now, we can enter the Madison Scare Park subway. So here it is, the front control panel. You actually have a little fly right here, new for 2025, and you have the live wires going off. You also have the telephone right here. You can actually choose right there. And if you can't really see on camera, but right here, it's supposed to look like broken glass right there. And then if you push down on this, you actually have a vibrator floor. And then this we saw in the teaser. I'll give you a good look at this, because I know some people are wondering. You can see all of this. The detailing is awesome right there. Spirit Station Z, version 2, Terrifier, and then all of that. And actually we have the Spirit Metro subway route diagram with actual names on here like Buzzsaw right there, all of the animatronics. You have Spirit Station Z right there, Skull Lake Station, Fright Zone Station, so awesome. And now up top, the hologram fan. We just got Jack the Reaper, and now he's going to fade away back to the beginning with Mutants to a Rat. So here I'll give you a good look at the hologram fan right there in Mutants to a Rat, who actually would be right there, but not at this location. The hologram fan is super cool. Right there, he gets electrocuted. I love the wires with the hologram fan. I think that it makes for an awesome projection. And then right here, Twitchin' Banshee, who is actually a flashback from last year, now being featured in the hologram fan. So there she is. As you can see, awesome jump scares. You can even hear the audio of her with the hologram fan. And then next up, we have the main mascot himself, Jack the Reaper. So there you go. Starting back once again, he rips the wires and then the fuse. So there you go, Jack the Reaper. And then right here we actually have the subway route diagram up there. You can see right there. And then actually, they have the light up here and it's literally broken. You also have the Terror Tots Nursery. And then you have the Spirit Metro Express right there. Thanks for riding. And then now we can enter the last segment of the train. With this being the Scary Sin Scarecrow right here, Butterfingers right there. So actually, if we do sit right next to him on the little train, we actually have him go off right there, which is so awesome for that awesome jump scare. $190, not bad at all. And then we have the electrified corpse right here. So here he is, $150, the electrified corpse. He is a flashback from 2016. And up there we actually have missing person, Betty Sharp. The electrified corpse, such an awesome flashback for 2025. And then right back here, the Butterfinger Spirit. And now we can exit out of the subway station over to Sinister Strawman, who is still resetting, so we'll wait just a couple seconds for him to reset. And then we can take a look at the Sinister Strawman, who's $330. Another Mr. Dark reskin, so definitely an awesome version with that Scarecrow. But now that he's all done resetting, we can now activate him once his yellow LED eyes do shut off. So, any second, there we go. So now we can activate him. Wait for his awesome jump scare. Here we go. There we go. Jumps up to over 9 feet tall. We have the Sinister Strawman animatronic. Probably my favorite Mr. Dark reskin. Not animatronic, but probably my favorite reskin. And then right here, Head Case Harry. He actually has the emergency push button in case of emergency push button. So let's go ahead and push it.
Suffocating tight. Knives and throats in dead of night. Candy joy, twisted and bright. Then feel the sting and endless fright.
Also mutated clown head. So there he is, Head Case Harry, $270. And then now we can make our way to the back of the subway over to Trick or Treat Pete, who is $240. So here he is. He actually spits out candy, not right here because obviously they would have to refill it, but right there you can see he can hold up to 5 pounds of candy in his hat right there, and then it just dispenses it out. And right here we have the $250 Night Owl animatronic. But before that, they do have the ISC sign with all the prices. So there it is, Spirit Halloween's Madison Scare Park. Then here is the Night Owl. It actually appears that the head is like tilted on this one to the right, which is really cool. Haven't seen that yet. So there we go, Night Owl. I love the red LED eyes. And the detail, she actually looks a lot better in person than I was expecting. But there we go. And then finally, for the last part of the ISC, we have the $310 Fire Demon. There you go, Fire Demon. Such an awesome animatronic. I do actually own him. So, the horns are awesome, and all the lighting on the sky is absolutely amazing. But you know what? Let's just see him one more time because of how good he is. There we go. Not a super fast jump scare, but definitely really effective. So there was Fire Demon, and then that is going to conclude the ISC. But now we can move on to the decor. And once again, half of the subway, not the full entire subway here, but there is the Madison Square Park for Maze Landing. We actually have all the lighting over here, right behind the actual ISC. So you have all your floodlights. You actually have a floodlight that looks like blood, and then you have the pumpkin right there. So all these lights. Last year they didn't have as many color options, but for every store that I went to, so maybe that was just because they were all sold out. But back there you can actually see them going right there. So here is the light station. They also do have a decent amount of stock, as they have Night Terror and Dark Princess. They also have some Emily and Victor's, those being restocks, and then Gordo, and then the Cerberus over here. More returning animatronics, some Sid and Scarecrows and Scary Sid and Scarecrows, Art the Clown, and Ringmasters. So lots of just overstock, not too many new animatronics, but they do have a few. Over here we do actually have some new animatronics, with the first one being Headcase Harry, and then we have the Sinister Strawman. We also have Mutant Sewer Rat, who isn't set up here, and then we also have the Night Owl. And then right here we have Twisted Grandma, Monkey Business, Electrified Corpse, Two-Faced Teddy, and then finally we have Crypt Countess and Back Ben Bonnie, one of each of those. I of course also can't forget about the t-shirt wall, with actually that being the shirt that I do have on right now from Spirit. We also have the new Squid Game t-shirt right up there, and well, they do have both of those in stock, the new Squid Game and then the new Terrifier one. But here are all of the shirts that Spirit does have in stock for 2025. They have tons of tiny terror statues over here. They have the Frankensteins, they have the Art the Clown statue, which actually, these aren't the tiny terrors, these are just the statues, not the little horror babies. But still cool to see. They do have the light up Chucky if he's working. Yep, right there. And then the new Ghostface candle holder. And then finally over here we have some latex props with these pumpkins. And then we also have the new possums right here. Really awesome. I love the blood that they do have on their face. And then over here we have some of the new pigs. No raccoons in stock, but still definitely a good selection. And then over here, some of the new zombie babies and some of the old. Right there we have the scary strawberry, the crawler up there, and then right there the spider eating baby. We also have the evil one, the ghostly Gus, and then the gutsy Gwen, and then a few others. And then also they do have some dolls over here. And then actually they do have one of the other new zombie babies up there, the animated one. But that, oh wait, that's not it. They do have a raccoon right here. So if you do want a raccoon, they do have one just lying on the shelf. Well, that's going to be it for the Spirit Halloween 2025 Maze Landing, New Jersey store tour. And let me know down in the comments below what your favorite animatronic is for Spirit Halloween 2025. But anyway, make sure you remember that I'm a Spirit Keeper and I give you a reason for every season. Bye.